The Chancellor today refused to say whether or not she supports plans for a third runway at London's Heathrow Airport. ITV News understands that next week Rachel Reeves will back a new runway there. Environmental groups say such a move would be catastrophic, but it would provide a vital boost to the government's aims of growing the economy. Here's our business editor, Joel Hills.
Coming down the runway, an old idea that could help to give the economy the thrust it lacks. In a speech next week, the Chancellor will publicly support the idea of building a third runway at Heathrow. In the Commons today, Rachel Reeves was asked about reports she'll back the airport's expansion. Her response was coy.
I'm not going to comment on leaks, but what I would say is this government are absolutely committed to growing our economy and making this a great place for businesses to invest and trade in.
10 years ago, an independent review recommended the construction of a third runway northwest of Heathrow. Doing so, it concluded, would permit an extra 260,000 flights a year, would create up to 77,000 jobs, and would increase economic growth by up to 0.75% in the long run. Even in 2015, the chair of the Commission said the need to expand Heathrow was pressing.
This issue has now become of symbolic importance around the world. Wherever you go, you hear people saying, look, this is a signal of whether London can make the tough decisions needed to remain a global competitive city.
The tough decision still hasn't been taken. The whole third runway project ran into difficulty partly because of COVID, which was a financial disaster for the aviation industry, and partly because of political resistance. Expanding Heathrow will create noise, air pollution and carbon emissions, as well as economic growth. In 2018, in the face of determined opposition, MPs voted overwhelmingly to back a third runway, although Ed Miliband, Darren Jones and Keir Starmer all voted against it. Today, London's mayor opposes the expansion, and he's not alone.
The boundary of the airport would be 50 paces from my front door. I'd have to put on air defenders when I opened the front door to anybody.
Heathrow is Europe's busiest airport. The company has a new chief executive who wants to expand, but he's waiting for the government to signal its support. The challenge will be to show that a third runway is compatible with the promise to reach net zero by 2050.